Hello, everybody. This is Marcel Pursuit, and welcome to the latest edition of the Original Free Kick. We are coming to you live from Mercedes-Benz Stadium on April 20th, following Atlanta United's 2-1 home loss to FC Cincinnati. And as always, to follow everything that we're doing, go to sportsinquirer.net, your site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also head to our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook under Sports Inquirer or Marcel Pursuit. And finally, you can find us on the various platforms that you listen and watch content, such as YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and much more. Okay, so as mentioned, we are at MBS Stadium, a little quieter than it was about an hour ago. As Atlanta fell 2-1 to FC Cincinnati. Atlanta held a 1-0 lead going into the second half, but conceded two second-half goals and were unable to get the equalizer to come out with a point. Let's get straight to Gonzalo Pineda's manager of Atlanta United, his press conference, and his thoughts on the match. Enjoy.
Are you concerned?
Well, not just players. We as coaches also we need to reflect. But yeah, I gave a very similar speech in the locker room about we need to learn about how to consolidate these advantages 2 times in a row. Facing 2 fantastic teams, Philadelphia and Cincinnati, 2 of the top teams in the league, and for many moments against both we were a little bit better. This game was a bit more even, so I want to first of all say Cincinnati deserves the 3 points, and they are a great team. They played very good tonight. It was a real challenge, tactically as well, but also mentally. I think some of the duels that they won that made the difference at times. But tactically it was challenging for everyone, and they did a good job. So congrats to Kat and his team. They deserve the 3 points. After that, we were winning 1-0. It was so difficult to get that goal. We had a few chances, and I had one very clear chance in the first half, and then a couple. Edwin Mosquera also in the first half, one that the first touch a bit better, maybe we scored the goal. Then the second half, another one from Saba, and a very good ball from Bartek or Tristan. And then we couldn't score those goals, and then finally we scored that goal. It was an even game, and we scored that goal. And right after is just lack of understanding how to solidify the result. The first goal we conceded I was speechless after that, and yeah, it's disappointing. And after that, probably the momentum was for Cincinnati, and they got the second goal. So we'll try to work on that. Now we'll have a difficult task in Chicago, and we'll try to go there and try to win the 3 points.
What happened with Noah Cobb that forced his substitution?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Noah had a little bit of a migraine.
Okay.
He had that at times, and at that moment he couldn't see, something like that. So that's what I got. I couldn't talk to him at halftime, so I was with the players, and then I received the notice. So we were forced to make that. So.
And did you get an explanation from Thiago as to what happened on that corner kick, on that first goal?
It was one play that we trained. I don't know if that's where the decision making of when we do those type of plays, we just made 3 stops, and probably wasn't the best moment, but it was a play that we trained in the week, but it was just a bad execution in the pass back to Brooks. It was a set play that we tried. So those are the maturity moments that we need to get. We're just to score a goal. We made 3 stops at the same time. Can we just put the ball inside the box? Learning lesson for everyone, not just for Thiago and Brooks. It was everyone, because we trained that play. So we just need to make sure this is another lesson when we choose to do those type of set plays that we train in the week.
Better go. Coach, past couple of games you'd started Tyler Wolff at left wing, and today you opted for Edwin Mosquera. What were you looking for from that adjustment, and did you get what you were looking for?
Well, I would say yes, it was a successful plan. I was looking a bit more at the pace, because we knew they had fast players on the back line, all of them. So whoever played, we were expecting maybe Murphy from the very beginning on the left side, and then Miazga, and then Miles on the right side, and then Orellana with DeAndre Yedlin. So they had pace on the back line. So I needed to treat them make a threat for them with our two wingers being fast, so Saba and Edwin having something to challenge them. And I think we were successful because there were a couple of chances from both of them, those wingers getting in very good areas on the field to score goals, but unfortunately we couldn't execute that. But yeah, I think he did a good job aside from scoring some of the chances he had.
Gonzalo, you mentioned this game being tactically challenging. What was it about what Cincinnati's shape or what they were doing that was so challenging for you guys? Especially in that first half, it felt like it was very frenetic, kind of up and down, and not kind of the kind of game model that it feels like you typically want to implement.
Yeah, I felt that they were kind of man for man all over the field. The wingbacks having half positioning, so then it was challenging for Brooks or Caleb to get the ball without pressure. And then they made Acosta to run a lot today. He did the work. He was chasing Tristan all over the field, especially in that first half. So it was challenging. We tried to drop Daniel Rios to make that numeric advantage, but Niazga was following Daniel. So the only threat we had was direct passes, but they were better in winning those. And then it was challenging. So we tried something different in the second half. Actually, we created a very, very good chance from a goal kick in the second half. And then from the run of play, pretty much the same. They were very aggressive with their wingbacks. We knew that, but we were trying to get some numerical overloads that because of their men marking were not happening. And did a good job on that. They kind of never pressed directly Abram, and then their two outside strikers, they were pressing our outside center backs in that back line of three. So then it was really difficult. And Acosta, I felt like he was doing a great job on our midfielders. So we start some rotations, and in certain moments we create what we wanted, but certainly was challenging.
Doug?
Coach, is there any comfort in knowing that you won on the road, but you played Chicago, a team that you beat 3-0 a couple weeks ago?
No, there is no easy games at all, or not like nothing make me feel better about it. I mean, we just lost 5 points at home, and you know, of course, the mentality of the team, we have to come back and try to win those points against Chicago now. But it won't be easy, I can guarantee you that. So whatever happened the other day in the 3-0, it's going to be a very different game, and we need to earn that victory again. So a couple lessons. I felt like for certain moments we were very good and we created very good chances. We were very fluid in certain moments. Some others we were not, and we need to learn from it. We're early in the season to have certain lessons. I think that could be helpful. We have one game less, so at some point if we get the rhythm and we get these lessons to apply in the future, we can have something, but we need to learn the lessons and then apply it in the next games.
In the off-season, or actually going back to last summer, y'all brought in a lot of experienced players to try to manage games, assume to manage games better. Yeah, you know, had a lot of issues last year with that. Now 2 consecutive games where you dropped 5 points at home. What can you do this week to try to make sure that this stuff doesn't start to become a trend rather than just 2 blips?
Yeah, well, what else can we do? We're showing the film, we're talking about it, we're seeing the same things that you see. We're scoring a goal and then certain individual lapses, or however you want to call it, and then we're conceding goals. We're aware of it, we're working on that, we're showing film, and I think the process at some point has to pay off. But today, for example, I feel like you talk about the experience, but I couldn't start Jaco, I couldn't start Estian, I couldn't start Derek Williams, I couldn't start a few of those, Shanda Silva, they were coming back from injuries. So, you know, I think once we have the full roster and some of those experienced guys that you're talking about, maybe we show a little bit better. Today, unfortunately, I feel like that sub from Noah changed some things also, because also Ronald tried his best, but I never put him as a center back in that. It was a desperate movement for me because I had no other options, and some of that. But again, we faced a very good team. We were at times better, and then we need to learn from this lesson.
Last year, Joe. Yeah, I was going to ask you just about that, about what your kind of message was to Ronald going into that position in a spot where he's, you know that he's unfamiliar with. I'm sure he knows it. So how do you try to help him the best you can in that situation?
Yeah, I had like 20 seconds to pass my message. So he was warming up as I was talking to the players. He was finishing his warm up. He was with Diego on the set pieces, which is very important also. And then I had like 10, 15 seconds to tell him his role as a center back. He knows the role. It's just he never trained it. That's the thing. He probably knows exactly what he has to do there, but he never trains in the shift overs and how to defend crosses and that from that positioning, that cohesion that we have had in the past in that back line. Probably we didn't have in that moment, but it's not Ronald's fault. He never played there. Actually, I think he did a pretty good job in many moments, so it's not a complaint or anything like that. It's just little details that at times makes the difference in games.
Coach, in kind of those morale dropping moments, like conceding the goal, that can really change kind of how the team is feeling, how the players are feeling. What can you do as a manager to kind of help them, kind of lift them up and kind of keep going forward, kind of shake it off, I guess?
I think you are giving us too much credit to the coaches. I think once the ball starts to roll, it's all on the players, the good and the bad. I think it's all on them. How I can affect the game, yes, a couple subs, a couple indications, a couple, being a cheerleader on the sideline, of course, but once the ball is rolling, it's all the players. So they have to find ways to together make that mental moment, mental break, something that just happen, and then move on and move forward and continue playing the same way that we have. It has to come from them. Honestly, I don't feel like we have that power to send a message from the sideline to all the players inside the field.
Okay, that was Gonzalo Pineda at his post-game press conference following Atlanta United's 2-1 home loss to Cincinnati. And thank you for listening or watching this latest edition of the original Free Kick. We'll have a full breakdown of the match in the very near future with audio from Saba and Captain Brad Guzan. As always, to follow everything that we do, go to the mothership, to sportsinquirer.net. And you can also go to our social media platforms on YouTube and follow our platforms on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify. And then if you want to go to our social media platforms, you can go to Facebook, Instagram, and more, and Twitter. So as always, my name is Emar Salvatore. This is the original Free Kick. Look us up on the Sports Inquirer on all those platforms. Until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe.